Welcome to Beyond the Boundary.
Keeping aside directly working with the boards or counties or academies, is there a way a common person who now watches this podcast and knows, okay, this exists? Can they directly use it themselves or purchase it themselves and you know drive that sort of analysis for themselves if they don't have the likes of the access to an academy or access to invest in themselves in terms of getting coaching and things like that?
Absolutely. One of the main reasons why we started PitchWolf essentially is to understand how we can spread it out to the people who don't have access as well, right? Like a kid in Ludhiana, for example, who doesn't have coaches and want to get better. So we've received hundreds of messages on Instagram saying we want to get better, but we don't have access, we don't have facilities, we don't know how to get better. So the main idea is for PitchWolf to be used by everyone to really understand what their current setup looks like and how they can get better. Now, the caveat to that is also education. So there's also a bit of a gap in understanding what the metrics do, in understanding how the path looks like to get better, which is why in the app we have an academy as well, where along with the metrics you can also understand what the metrics do and why they are important. So if you give that sort of knowledge, you essentially break down fast bowling into much simpler terms, and at the same time for them to visualize and get better. So that's the main idea. Is we on one end we're of course looking at organizations like academies, nations, teams, boards. On the other hand, we're also looking at a mass market launch where anyone can come in, get analyzed. We also have quite a few users who are using PitchWolf like that. So who are really taking up the academy, reading articles in the academy, understanding what the metrics look like, getting analyzed, seeing their improvements basically.
So safe to say that you've built your level of traction. And like, what does the next chapter actually look like for PitchWolf?
Yeah, so we do have good traction right now, but the main idea for us is essentially to decode fast bowling for as many users as possible. We still have a long way to go in terms of tackling and understanding what the entire market looks like. For example, grassroots level of New Zealand operates much different from India, as you know, as opposed to Australia. So we want to really understand every single cricket playing nation's ethos to fast bowling and how we can come in there and solve it for them. So that is essentially feeding to our next step. Our immediate next step is again decode fast bowling for everyone using it, make it simpler to understand, make it easy and affordable, and essentially getting them better at a rate where every nation has a really large pool of fast bowlers to work with. That's the immediate next step. The longer vision is translate that to sport in general, outside of cricket, right? Because what we've tried to solve is one of the most complicated set of actions in sport, right? So if you look at the spectrum of sport actions, one end of the spectrum is walking or running, right, where it's synchronized motion, and at the very high end is fast bowling where it's such a unnatural set of movements that we try to decode and plug and play to other tech, other sports, right? So, for example, we've gotten interest from NBA, we've got interest from MMA, we've got interest from batting as well. Lot of coaches want to get their fast bowlers to be all rounders as well, so that they can analyze the batting as well and improve their chances to get better. So we're really trying to figure out what is the next best step for us in terms of adding value, one, and in terms of the market size, and of course seeing what is viable for us.
When we had
Well, we
our
genuinely hope, yeah.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, well, we genuinely hope that happens for you, because, that just seems like such an important version uh, to PitchWolf and its expansion.
And I remember when
Absolutely.
we had our filter coffee session, the three of us, something that you also touched upon was, and we all naturally spoke about how women's cricket has grown at a pace that everyone wanted it, and it's happened slowly but surely. And it's so different to what it was 5 years ago. And I know that you've talked about working with a couple of counties when it comes to women bowling, women fast bowlers, and how if they can hit an X number of kilometers, but the difference between a male bowler and a female bowler is just a couple of degrees up and down. How do we bridge that gap? So, is that something that you're actively looking at as well?
Maybe this
Yeah,
needs to
great.
be a separate episode, Cash.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can go on for hours, right? How much
Oh,
time do you
yeah.
have, and how many episodes in the series do you want to make?
We have all the time, especially for this bit, we have all the time.
Yeah, to begin with, right? Very curious set of questions that we sought out to ask, right? So, for example, why is the male fast bowling ceiling at 160 and why is the female fast bowling ceiling at 135? To begin with, is it a biomechanical set of things? Is it endurance, or is it maintenance, workload management, or what goes on with the female body compared to the male body? How is it structured? So when we are trying to find answers to these questions, we have really good data of female fast bowlers as well. We've worked with a few counties. We worked with independent female fast bowlers as well to understand exactly what's going on. The entire structure is different, right? So the gap right now is even at the highest level, even at the international level, you have to believe me when I say this, that all the female fast bowlers who are getting analyzed are being analyzed through the methods used by male fast bowlers, right? For example, the biomechanics of the male body, right, which is being fit in for the female fast bowlers, which is completely um, you know,
That's
baseless.
not, yeah, that's not the right foundation, right? That's not
Absolutely,
what this requires, defeats the purpose, in fact.
absolutely, it really does, and which is why this solution requires a ground up um, setup to begin with, to understand, to collect as much data as possible, really study what goes on with the female body when they're trying to go run in and bowl fast. What are the metrics that they lack most at? Is it the front knee flexion? Is it run up speed? Is it arm speed? From the data that we have, they seem to have really good arm speeds, right? So one of
Right.
the interesting data points is the fastest arm speed that we recorded was 330-ish RPM, rotations per minute. The ball, the that means the hand moved 300 times per minute speed when releasing a ball. So compared to a female fast bowler whose fastest was about 280, which is why we were trying to understand what are the limitations to that. Is it a arm speed only thing? Is it a muzzle issue? Is it a chain issue? Are they running in faster to generate that speed? Now, the other most important thing that I want to talk about in fast bowling is ground reaction force, which is essentially the single most important thing estimate how fast you bowl. So in sport in general, all the force you produce is from the ground. Whether it be boxing, when you're trying to do a uppercut, you are essentially trying to generate force from the ground into the arm. It's the same with batting as well. You create a very good base and you power through the arms, but create a stable base, right? You clear your front leg and do that. It's the same with fast bowling as well, and even in baseball, right? So the amount of force you generate at the front foot contact and the way you transfer that force through your body into your arm determines how fast you bowl. And case studies so far have shown that men for the fastest bowlers so far have clocked in 12 to 15 times their body weight every single delivery. So that amount of force has to be traveled through the body with the right shapes, or else you're going to get injured, right? And that load has to be managed well, which gives the release speed. Now, for female, that number lies 8 to 9 times the body weight, right? So that is a clear indicator of the disparity in speed. But we're trying to understand the why. Is it the transfer of load that's the issue? Is it the weight distribution? So we are collecting data. We have really good insights for female fast bowlers as well, and we want to collect more and more data to find all these answers and spread the message and spread the product to female fast bowlers as well.
I think this
So
is
it's
this is right up Ashu's alley, because
that's
there's
what I was
always
just gonna go like.
there's always this tension in sports analytics between data and intuition, right? And I think I'll let Ashu take that one. But yeah, there's always that little bit of a traditional mindset. So yeah, Ashu, take it.
Mindset, exactly. Yeah, that's what, I was just going to ask you, like, can it not be a combination of both? Because sometimes, both of them could play an equal role enough to impact, say, a male cricketer or a female cricketer for that matter. And given how cricket's expanding so fast in associate nations like the US or a Canada, or say the likes of the UAE, from a Nats and myself standpoint, we've definitely felt like women fast bowlers in associate nations are far behind. So is that something PitchWolf is looking to target? Is that part of the vision?
Absolutely. One of the main visions that we work with, of course, is spreading the game far and beyond a few playing nations. And as part of that is, of course, spreading it to both male and female fast bowlers. Right? And as you very well know, like you rightly mentioned, it is behind, the science of fast bowling is behind even more so in associate nations, and which is why we're trying to bridge the gap from a ground up level to understand exactly what's happening, why why is this happening to begin with, and how we can come in and solve it through technology and through awareness, basically.
Yeah, and that's where it works out the best, right? If you're developing that base from a grassroots foundation itself, there's a lot in terms of growth, not just for fast bowlers, any cricketer for that matter, and any niche that they expertise in, if that makes sense, could be tackled or could be worked on or could be upskilled, whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nats, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Apologies. So I want to come back to that data and intuition bit, right? Where if a coach who's worked with a bowler for 10 years, right, you've seen their growth levels, and you have that instinct, you have that relationship, because it's almost like you have a different kind of expectation from both sides now. Now, a coach who's groomed you versus a player who's comfortable with a coach that they've known all their life. Where do you see PitchWolf sort of fitting alongside that and not instead of it? Because obviously you're not trying to tarnish the role of a coach. You actually need a coach to help you with this. So when it comes down to data versus intuition, on the scale, where does PitchWolf sit?
I'm so glad you asked this question.
Sorry, I just want to interrupt there, Kash. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. Because data is so relative, it's something that needs to be worked on the daily. right? So that the intuition factor of it reduces day by day. Because again, it defeats the purpose, right? Like if your intuition was to come into play, what's the purpose of collecting all this data? And everyone's perspectives and intuitions are so different. So yeah, like if you could expand on that further, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you asked this question and touched upon this topic. Two main points that come to mind for me. One, we are very clear on our mission that we want to aid the coach or the bowler to understand their bowling limits and their metrics for them to make decisions. So we are never the decision makers for them, which leaves the intuition part and the entire complete picture part to them. So they always have the entire picture, right? So we provide them 4K clarity on how the picture might look like, so that their intuition essentially gets better
Yeah,
through the lens of PitchWolf. That's one.
exactly. Yeah,
And two, from a long-term standpoint, like you just mentioned, Nats, in terms of a coach working with a bowler for 10 years, currently there's no data that they're collecting. So all the 10 years are in the coach's brain.
brain, exactly.
All the hundreds of analysis and sessions and net sessions that they do are lost essentially without even understanding
What's going
how
on?
they can, what's going on, how they
Yeah,
can translate it to the next coach or the next organization that the bowler might
work
progress
with.
to.
Yeah,
Right? So, which is why one of the other things that we closely work on is logging all that data, seeing that progress, and making sure that we build a database for both the coach and the bowler, so that they can refer to and they can understand and they can pass it along to their next level as they go more and more ahead in their game.
and like you mentioned, right? Given how like crucial articulation is. Let's say, you're that fast bowler you dreamed of always being. Would you want the likes of PitchWolf in your corner?
I think we know the
I think
I
answer.
I know
would.
the answer. Yeah, I think I know the answer. But yeah,
You'll
like,
have to hear a yes from me.
is that bias?
Well, I would say a bit of bias and a bit of necessity.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. I think, yeah, the latter makes more sense, right? At least to me. It's definitely a necessity, because again, like we've touched upon, it covers different facets of what helps a cricketer develop, and also, focus on certain things that they could not worry about in the future. Um, Especially, like, we discussed from an injury standpoint, for example. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I think now it's time to put Cash on the spot with our
Let's do it.
rapid fire session. And yeah, let's see how quick you are to think on your feet. Pun intended.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
Okay. All right, cool.
Let's be rapid and fiery, Cash.
yeah, let's do it.
Okay. The fast bowler, this could be past or present, you'd want PitchWolf to have analyzed.
Curtly Ambrose.
Oh,
Oh,
good answer.
whoa. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like you almost had that ready.
There was a 1979 series on the world's fastest bowler. There's a very cool video on YouTube where they've gotten the top. I mean, I know this is a rapid fire round, but I want to take a
No.
little bit of time here. But there was a competition conducted which got the 10 fastest bowlers in the world, and there's a screen behind. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but everyone's wearing whites and they just try to bowl in as fast as possible to see who's bowling the fastest. So they explain a
Fastest.
bit of biomechanics as well, but that was something extremely cool to see even in 1979.
70. Oh, yeah, of
You have
course,
to, you
Yeah.
right?
have to share that video with us so we get to watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
please do. That's such a game changer.
Okay.
But yeah, moving on to the next one. India or San Fran? Where does Cash's heart actually live?
India.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
All hot, all
Both
hot.
both our oars were in sync.
Um, the cricket stat that you think people completely misunderstand.
Economy rate.
Ooh.
I think it's stripped out of context a lot, and it might look good or bad on paper, but having the match context in place and also the tournament context in place, it either increases its value or decreases it. Because an economy rate of 8 in a game that's average score is 240 per inning is much more impactful than an economy rate of 8 on an average game of 150 per side. So,
Okay, well said.
That's very interesting insight. But yeah, moving on. One thing a fast bowler does that makes you want to immediately open your laptop and fix it.
I want to open my laptop for everything a fast bowler does these days. But one thing definitely is there's something called as back foot collapse that they do, which is essentially what we've seen most of the fast bowlers do is they have very weak back legs that they immediately bend and lose a lot of energy. So we calculate that angle and we provide an intervention for them to get better and be more stiff on the back foot so they can slide through the crease much better.
Right. And just out of curiosity, is that something that affects the Achilles?
It does to an extent based on your body composition.
Right.
It's not something that's more load related, but it's a technique related and it's a stiffness related. So based on what your bowling action looks like, so you might lose energy. You will lose a lot of energy if you bend your back knee and bend it lower than needed. The ethos is you need to stay stiff through the crease and conserve that energy rather than dissipate it.
All right. Okay, next one for you, Gash. If PitchWolf had a bowling speed, how quick are we talking?
170.
Hey!
Going past Shoaib Akhtar, that's the
Why not?
vision. Oh,
for,
yeah,
for, our,
absolutely.
for our North American audience, that's in kilometers.
Yes.
That's correct. Well, we will try for miles, but that's a bit of a stretch.
Oh, yeah. One day, we'll get there.
One day. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Cash. Batter or bowler, who has the harder job?
Bowler.
Ooh.
I think we've covered this as well, but
Quite a bit.
we wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, with the IPL, right? With the scores that you see these days, you got to
Yeah.
feel for the bowlers.
Honestly.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's again been a narrative for so long.
Yeah. All right. The next one. The one cricket ground that you think has the best atmosphere to bowl in.
Love
I've
that.
been to a few, but the one that strikes is Wankhede when Mumbai is playing RCB.
Oh my God.
Nothing like the crowd getting behind Jasprit Bumrah when he's at the top of his crease, top of his run up and trying to bowl.
Yeah. Well,
What about you guys?
MCG for me, or the Lords, both.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
I think I was going to go with MCG only because we witnessed the Women's T20 World Cup final there and it was insane. 84,000 people showing up. And there was a moment
Stadium.
when the bowler was bowling in and they just needed one wicket to win. Australia needed one wicket to win. And you could hear the crowd go, oh, and then the ball went in the
Yeah.
air. And again, the crowd went like, oh, and then she caught the ball, and then the stadium erupted. Like I think that moment
Wow.
will forever be etched in my head.
Everything, literally.
Awesome.
Literally. Yeah. Next one.
Yep.
So, based on all the stadiums you've been to, which one has the best food?
Oh. I'm a huge biryani fan, so I'd say Uppal Stadium from Hyderabad.
Right. Okay.
Okay. If you could embed PitchWolf into one cricket board tomorrow with no red tape and no politics and all of that, which one would it be?
It'd have to be Cricket Australia. Uh,
Ooh.
Primarily because of their insight and passion about getting better in sport and technology and adaptation in all levels that they do. So I just love the way they conduct sport in general.
I'm gonna try, Cash. That answer's very close to the heart. Very
I love Cricket Australia, by the way.
Me
Uh,
too.
Yeah,
amazing.
I think I should say us too,
Yeah,
honestly. I should say
yeah.
us too. Yeah.
they're miles apart when it comes to doing things for grassroots development and
Literally.
even the
Yeah.
way they manage.
Without a discussion.
Yeah, even the way they manage social media, for example, it's so different to what other boards do. Keeping aside having two separate for starters, you have two separate social media pages for your men's team and your women's team because you're targeting different levels and different aspects
Yeah.
of the game, which is brilliant because it's not getting lost in each other's tournaments, right? Your focus is on
Correct.
what each is doing. Then of course the number of programs that they have inbuilt within their scholastic systems and grassroots and stuff. I think a case study needs to be done on Cricket Australia and everyone needs to follow that.
Yeah.
100% template. And from a research standpoint, the amount of funding they get for fronting specific research, especially in cricket and in other sport, Aussie rules, of course, but in cricket, fast bowling for females in general is a big research
Area.
grant that is being currently conducted in and University of
New
Sydney,
South Wales?
basically.
And
UTS, which is who we partnered with, by the way.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Amazing.
And honestly, not just cricket, right? You mentioned the AFLW, netball. Netball's huge amongst women there. Hockey, swimming. It's fantastic. So I think it would just be like Australia's miles ahead, full stop.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Literally.
The funny story is having talked to a few Australians about sport and tech, they think US is the best.
Okay.
Because
because of their collegiate sport and how much they do at that level.
Yeah. That actually is a very important system.
Yeah, I think the US, especially the NCAA setup, which is the collegiate setup, is so well tuned with technology that anything new that comes in just is made for incorporating new technology, right? And essentially focusing completely around the athlete. So building the shoe around the athlete model, basically, and transferring of data from the lowest level to the highest level. So they have a lot of context about who they're working with, what the nutrition looks like, how they can get better, what are injuries doing, what injuries are going to happen, and essentially marketing. So the US does an incredible job of marketing sport in general. So yeah, it's just a very cool ecosystem.
For sure. Okay, last one for you, Cash. One piece of advice you'd give to a 17-year-old fast bowler right now that has nothing to do with data.
I'd say try to take as many wickets as possible before trying to think how you are bowling or what you're looking at in your specific bowling action, because the last thing a fast bowler needs to think when they're at the top of their crease is how they're going to bowl and what the body looks like rather than the outcome.
Right.
This is a very curious conversation that I had with a few athletes, is to understand what they're thinking. So one of the questions that I posed was, you're in an IPL final and you have 3 runs to win, you have one ball. When you're defending it, are you looking at how fast you're going to bowl, whether you're going to bowl a no ball, or are you looking at the field setting, like the outward set of thinking? 99.9% of the time, they're just thinking about the outcome of the game rather than their
the
their
input.
own fast
Yeah.
bowling within. So I'd say that
Yeah.
to begin with.
Okay. Yeah. Be more input focused rather than outcome.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, this conversation has been so enlightening in so many ways. And I know that, again, I'm going to bring up this iconic filter coffee session because we've had 2 of these now. That when
Three
you
More to
now.
come. More to
3
come.
now,
More to
yeah,
come.
yeah, more to come. Maybe that should be the episode title, the filter coffee session.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
filter coffee.
Love
Yeah,
that.
filter coffee and data, like that should be
Yes, wow.
That's it. That's
the.
it. Nats has summed it up.
But no, honestly, like thank you for sharing your journey and everything that you've been building, and it's incredible. And I've told you this from the beginning, from the first conversation we had. I have loved your product from the get go. I think
Yeah.
it's brilliant. I think it's needed. I hope you get a lot more funding. I hope you get a lot more exposure, hopefully through this podcast as well, and you're going to be changing lives for sure. I can guarantee, I can write this down on a piece of paper and keep it in a pocket, and then 10 years down the line, when we take it out, it'll say PitchWolf has changed the lives of hundreds and thousands of
Then
bowlers to come.
Thanks.
we manifest this together, Cash.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. And I'm really grateful for getting this opportunity to have an amazing conversation and make 2 cool friends, who to talk about cricket in general.
Yes.
So really excited to, just have random conversations about cricket in general, see how we can think about the game from a fun standpoint and also from an advancement standpoint, because we 3 are involved with the game we love. So I consider myself lucky, and through this, I'm reaching out and having conversations and making relationships with some incredible people like you guys. So yeah, look forward to more such chats.
Yeah, and
Gladly.
where can people find you? Just let us know, where can people find you? How can a fast bowler approach you to get analyzed?
Yeah, so our Instagram is pitchwolf.ai. So we are active on Instagram. So we post content about fast bowling in general. The website is www.pitchwolf.ai. So currently the product is a web app where you can create a profile, upload videos, purchase plans, enroll in the academy. We're soon launching a mobile app as well, where you can essentially make it very easy to record videos on the go. So we are very excited about that. So working on the back end to test it now. We've gotten positive feedback from a few coaches as well, but now launching it for everyone soon. So
And
stay
I'm so
tuned.
sorry. I'm so sorry. But in the beginning, I know we touched upon this, but I don't think we got into it. The name PitchWolf. Why? How? When?
All of the above.
Yeah. So, very funny story. I had an Insta page before where I used to wear, VR and play cricket before a game. So, there's this game called IB Cricket where I used to play a lot, like thousands and thousands of balls till now. So, I thought it'd be fun to create a YouTube channel to stream myself playing. So I named it TC Lab, with TC being as cringy as it sounds, Tech Cricketer, because I couldn't find any other name to it. So translating to that, TC Labs was the first name that I thought. But since I started PitchWolf, one of the things that I thought was what's the most common thing across sport that can be incorporated in the name, and it is pitch, right? So you call pitch in football, in baseball, and in cricket as well. So pitch, and something that looks and analyzes you well, or just I don't know how to put this, but um,
Has good
Uh,
instincts.
yeah, has good instincts, like leader of the pack. I just love the animal wolf.
Yeah.
So that came along.
Yeah.
So leader of the pack, right? So we want to be the leader of the pack in terms of making you better.
Okay.
So that name stuck. The moment I thought of pitch wolf, it just stuck. It rolled nicely, and we continued with that.
Well,
Love
we
it.
love the merch. Yeah, so feel free to give Nats and me a t-shirt.
100%, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, look out for your mailboxes soon.
Done, done.
I can't
And
send to Nats because Park Hyatt guy will take it away.
uh, so Instagram the only platform we can like find Pitchful on, or is there anything else?
So we are on Instagram and Facebook right now, but we're going to
Right.
launch it on YouTube and TikTok for non-Indian users as well.
Excellent,
Amazing.
excellent.
Love
That's
it.
awesome. Yeah, and once again, just repeating what Nat said. It's been excellent for us as hosts to have you on board, and essentially give across the line this wider platform, and have a very organic conversation. So, to our listeners and audience out there, please follow Across the Line on Instagram. And yeah, I just think this is the right moment for Nats and yourself to close with something personal, given your friendship and the warmth that has lasted for far longer.
I think we had our emotional moment when we were closing in a little bit earlier. But no, I just want to say that I'm forever grateful that you reached out on Instagram, that we were able to have these conversations. That we're now, it feels like we're casually following each other around the world. So I'm hoping to see you one day in the Bay Area, at some point. Maybe working together on something for the LA 28 Olympics, which is very exciting for that market. And hopefully you get into the Olympic space as well, because you mentioned about sports and how you wanted to not just particularly be focused on cricket. That's obviously your niche and that's what you want to do. But you being in North America right now is a massive opportunity for you as well. So I know this is not the last conversation we're going to have, but I hope it is a conversation that just takes you further than you are right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And likewise, right? Super, grateful and happy to have fun conversations with you and with Ashu as well.
Yeah, I'd
And
like to just
especially,
add in there, right, to what Nat said. Me too, me too.
yeah, absolutely. And can't wait to get our next virtual filter or real filter coffee session started. Although in the
Real,
Bay Area,
real,
we'll
for
have to
sure.
look at another drink, maybe a milkshake to begin with.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
after the floor is yours. We'll just keep you for a couple more seconds, Cash, where she's just gonna close the show, do the whole like subscribe stuff, and then we're good to go.
Yeah. But prior to that, I just want to add something. And again, Cash, you can feel free to offer your 2, 5, 10 cents here. As much as the data angle is very crucial, I think the stepping stone would be what you do with the data. And that would make a very impactful difference, to say the very least.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're so right. So showing data is one is the first piece of the puzzle. What
Yeah.
you do with it, how you present that data, how you visualize that data for them to imbibe in their current session setup. How do you evoke behaviors that are already in place, set in stone for years? Right. That is the fun challenge that we're tackling, and that's what keeps us going, right, in terms of understanding how we can solve all these problems and essentially bring a product that they can use and keep using without any friction.
Yeah,
Beautifully
amazing.
summed up. Yeah. Well, this is the closing promo, so just bear with me, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's go. You've been listening to Beyond the Boundary and Across the Line production. If the conversation moved you, it definitely moved us. Challenged you or shifted your perspective, please like, share, and subscribe. Visit us at acrosstheline.com for more and follow Natasha and myself on our socials. Stay curious and keep building beyond the boundary. And remember, in a world full of aggregators, be an architect.
Woo! All right, amazing.
Awesome.
Let's go. I'm gonna.
Nice.
Let's go!
How was it, guys?
It was good. It was good.
Chumeshwari.
Was it good?
Yeah, Chumeshwari.
Awesome.
Love it.
Thanks.
I'm
That
gonna.
was a fun convo.
Yeah, it was.
I hope you enjoyed the questions.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Yeah, really nice setup. Like I said before, I loved the setup. I loved the insightful questions that you guys had, right? My favorite question was the food in the stadium in the end.
That was
Yeah,
specially
it's the hardest question. It's harder
Yeah.
than all the analytic stuff.
No, when we were kind of figuring this out, we were just like, we need to add this in for cash.
Nice. I'm a huge foodie, by the way.
Exactly.
Mentioned Hyderabadi biryani at least once in this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you guys
But
think about the food in Wankade?
It's okay. It depends
exactly.
on which stand you're in.
Yeah, exactly.
Good question. I don't
Yeah.
want to eat that corn masala in the normal stand. I'm not gonna,
But,
sustain that.
When we were at the MICSK game, and because we had access to the lounge, Nats's mum and I, man, we had like plates and bowls of this
Wow.
Malaysian noodles that they had, sort of like a khao siu, but not really. Oh my God,
wow.
it was fantastic.
And my dad was
like,
hogging on candy floss. Like,
yeah, and like pani puri, and oh my God, so much.
Nice. It really depends on what stand you are in. That's true.
every stadium,
like that.
which stand you're in,
Stand matters.
it depends on.
Yeah.
The food will depend on that. Yeah.
Like
Yep,
I had
yep.
the best fish and chips at Lord's. Like I've just not had
Wow.
better fish and chips. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Love it.
Yeah, I was lucky with the SRH game. So we got the SRH hospitality stand where the
Yeah.
food was outstanding.
Standing. I'm sure.
For the Mumbai game, not so much, because the stand didn't have much.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I got was boba tea. For some reason, they were
Wow.
selling
Okay.
boba tea in an IPL game. I don't know why they were selling boba tea. I
Boba tea.
didn't
I
want
think it's
that, and they had
quite a bit
samosas.
in India actually. Like boba is really picking up in India. Like, people are really getting
That's
into it.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, there was like 15-year-old kids who came alone to see the game, by the way.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and they're like, so we live here, and I'm just a huge fan. Ek banda basically got like a huge book and then pen, and just beside that, that iconic thing where they the staircase, right, where the batters and the
Right,
bowlers
right.
go. Just with that, and after every wicket falls, this guy gets up and waiting for the batter to sign. So yeah,
So
The
well
crazy.
prepared.
The worst time to ask for an autograph.
Exactly, when they
Literally.
when Surya got out for 2 or something, he's asking for
Yeah.
autographs. Like, bro, not the time.
Yeah. Not the time for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, as a 15-year-old, I hope he was excused.
Yeah. I mean, the security guard